Daisy.
recorded.
And sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry,
Okay,
just get
great.
it
So
recorded. Yeah.
I come from a finance background, and I've been working in the finance industry for over a decade, and done all sorts of different roles in finance, including APAR, month-end payroll, budgeting. So I have a deep understanding of how the finance works when it relates to the different departments. And I've also worked in a variety of different industries, including automotive, publications, marketing, and currently I'm working in healthcare industries. Yeah, so from my past experience, I help to not only to help the company operate smoothly, but um, currently focus on how to optimize their process and finding the issues with minimizing risks and minimizing any errors during processing as well. Yeah, so looking forward to work with you.
Fantastic. Nice to meet you.
And Daisy, you can just pick the next one.
Okay. Shall we go with Grace?
Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you see me? Yeah. Hi, my name's Grace, and I come from a payroll background. I've been with payroll for around 5 years now, and yeah, I'm very exciting for transitioning into a business analysis industry and do a bit more for changes for payroll or maybe in the even other industries as well. Yeah.
Great.
Beautiful. You can pick the next one.
Can I pick Chris?
Um, hey, hello everyone. I'll just try to turn on my camera. Um, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, nice and clear.
Oh, sure. All right, yeah. All right. This is Chris. I'm working for the finance functions for over 10 years. Yeah, it's so glad. I just try to I do some automation implementation for my business, but it's always limited to certain functions. Doesn't have the very broad overviews of the full functions or other areas I'm interested in, like supplier chains and also procurement or other functions. Yeah, I just try to use this internship to got more knowledges around the whole business. That's it.
Thanks, Chris. Over to yeah, you can pick the next one. We still have Irene, Iris, and Mikhail.
Oh, okay. Mikhail, please.
You give me?
Yes, we can
Yes.
hear you.
Yeah, morning everyone. I'm Mikhail. I'm just graduate from the UTS and in Master of Business Analytics. I'm happy to with everyone to in this intern, and I mean I hope you enjoy this intern. So thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Next,
And
yeah,
yeah.
next I will give the Iris.
Oh, hello. Good
Hi,
morning.
Iris. What time is it there?
It's it's 6 a.m.
6 a.m. Oh my God.
Yeah. Hello, good morning. This is Aris. I work for a textile company as a sales manager currently, and I have a wealth of experience in retail, marketing, and CRM. As a result, I look forward to contributing my best to this project. Okay.
Beautiful. Iris, I think the last one we have is Irene. You're on mute.
Sorry. Hi. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Irene. Over the past 5 years, I've working as an accountant for the various of corporation within the finance sector, and um I I'm also start from the scratches. I've start with the AP, AR, and all the payroll and some other like at the end of the financial year. I'm also helping our manager to prepare the financial report as well. And I hope we can use this internship opportunity to help the company to find a solution to um yeah to find the solution and help the company to solve the pain point. Thanks.
Well,
Brilliant. Thank you, Irene. So yeah, Ting, as you say, everyone comes from like very diverse mix of diversity of the background. So yeah, we bring a different set of skill set and yeah, over to you, Tim. So we're very keen to understand roughly what's the company's background and then how it's been through and then what some initial areas we'll be looking at.
fantastic. Did you want to share the slides or shall I?
You've sent me a copy. I can do that. So if that's easier for you to talk through,
Let me see if I can share.
I can bring it up.
It's always a bit funny
Can
PowerPoint's always a
everyone
bit funny
see
when you.
that?
Oh, there we go. Perfect.
Yeah,
Yes,
coming
we
through.
can.
Beautiful. So over to you, Tim.
Fantastic. So we're a medium-sized healthcare wholesale distributor and digital solution provider based in the UK. Obviously, I'm working in the Australian office, which is a bit of a early start. The company specializes in the distribution of pharmaceuticals, medical devices, and healthcare supplies to pharmacies, hospitals, and medical practices across the country. We've been in operation for over 6 years and we have a reputation for reliable service and a broad product range. However, the company faces several operational challenges that impact its efficiency and customer satisfaction. So let's go through some of this together. So the product offering, so basically we pride ourselves on offering a comprehensive range of products to meet diverse needs of our customers across our portfolio of pharmaceuticals, medical devices, and healthcare supplies. So the pharmaceuticals, we have a wide variety of prescription and over-the-counter medications, including generics and brand drugs. In the medical devices space, we have essential medical devices ranging from diagnostic equipment to surgical equipment and personal protective equipment. In the healthcare supplies, we've got a broad spectrum of consumables such as bandages, syringes, gloves, and other medical supplies necessary for day-to-day healthcare operations. So let's have a little bit of a chat about our digital health platform. And I'm going to have to zoom in to see the notes, but that's okay. So the digital health platform is a part of the product offering that we've been developing, and we'll get a little bit more into the details of that. We've had some great feedback and some challenges. So our digital health platform is designed to transform healthcare delivery by providing a comprehensive real-time view of patient data across multiple sources. With seamless integration capabilities, the platform enables healthcare providers to access, analyze, and act on critical patient information from electronic health records, wearable devices, lab results, and more, all within a unified dashboard. You're getting the idea. This is kind of the prospectus, right? Because there's challenges with this platform, but this is the goal. This robust interoperability allows for quicker and more informed decision making, reducing the need for manual data retrieval and improving healthcare coordination. Key features of the platform include automated data standardization and validation, advanced role-based access control, and real-time alerting for critical patient insights. Our solution supports enhanced population health analytics, providing insights into trends and potential health risks across patient groups. This empowers healthcare organizations not only to address individual patient needs, but also to take a proactive approach in managing community health outcomes. With our digital health platform, healthcare providers can achieve high levels of operational efficiency, data accuracy, and patient engagement, creating a streamlined experience that puts data-driven care at the forefront. That's the pitch, but let's get into how it works and if it works and when it works. So in the logistics solutions scope, to maintain our commitment to reliable service, PharmaWell Healthcare Distributors has provided a robust logistics infrastructure. Key components of our infrastructure include centralized warehousing, temperature-controlled storage, efficient distribution network. Well, let's get into that. PharmaWell operates a strategically located central warehouse equipped with advanced inventory management systems. The central hub allows for efficient storage management and distribution of products when it works. The warehouse includes temperature-controlled zones to ensure the integrity and safety of temperature-sensitive products such as pharmaceuticals and medical devices. And our distribution network, we have a well-coordinated distribution network that covers the entire UK. It includes a fleet of delivery vehicles equipped with GPS tracking to ensure timely and accurate deliveries. Okay. So as part of that, we have automated order processing. An automated processing system ensures that the orders are received, processed, and dispatched quickly. If everything goes well, this minimizes errors and speeds up the fulfillment process. Real-time tracking. So in theory, customers can track their orders in real time through an online portal, providing transparency and peace of mind regarding their deliveries. Customer support. And again, you know, this is the glossy brochure, but there's challenges. A dedicated customer support team is available to handle inquiries, to resolve issues, and provide assistance with both order placement and tracking. Here we go. We're up to the pain points. So the proposed project aims to address the critical operation pain points at PharmaWell through a comprehensive process and system improvement initiative. The project will involve assessing current processes, identifying areas for improvement, implementing advanced technology solutions, and training staff to ensure sustainable improvements. The key project areas of focus are inventory management, order fulfillment accuracy, digital health platform, manual work, customer relationship management, outsourcing strategy, ANZ market expansion opportunities, and data security. So that's where I come in. Obviously, we're talking about the Australia and New Zealand market opportunity. So let's have a look at some of the inefficiencies. Inventory management. So one of the issues with inventory management is the company struggles with maintaining optimal inventory levels. So there are frequent instances of overstocking some items while facing shortages of others. This leads to increased holding costs and lost sales opportunities due to stockouts. We've got order fulfillment. Well, we can go back. We can go into more detail in these later. There's things I want to add to this, but that's okay. We're doing the brief overview for now. So order fulfillment accuracy. There is a higher rate of errors in order fulfillment, including incorrect items being shipped and missed items in orders, which with an automated system you would hope wouldn't happen. So that's going to be a challenge. This results in customer dissatisfaction, returns, and additional shipping costs. So inefficiency 3, there's manual work in our digital health platform. So you heard the glossy sales pitch. Now we're talking about the reality. Our digital health platform may face challenges integrating seamlessly with various third-party devices, such as wearable health trackers and medical systems, such as EHR systems, lab results databases, and pharmacy networks. This issue isn't just a technical one. It has significant process implications as well, impacting workflows and the efficiency of healthcare providers. Yeah, there's a lot involved in actually getting all that data to work together. Inefficiency number 4. Customer relationship management. At the moment, we have no robust system for managing our customer relationships and tracking customer satisfaction. And the result of that is poor customer retention and missed opportunities for upselling and cross-selling when you're really not tracking those customer stories. Inefficiency number 5. We are looking at the possibility of outsourcing, possibly India or the Philippines or wherever is most suitable. We have challenges then that we need to address and to manage in terms of data protection, PMO activities consuming significant manual data protection. Oh, my bad. Sorry, I'm reading my own notes and missing it here. Yeah, so actually internally we have a lot of work going into manual data protection, and our PMO activities are consuming a significant amount of our internal resources from the team. This results in high labour costs in head office, where global outsourcing would reduce that cost, and particularly for repetitive manual labour that can't be automated. Moving it to a cheaper location is obviously a sensible strategy. In terms of scalability, we have limited scalability, so process improvements and backlog handling are constrained by the local capacity, and this is where we're really looking to free up some of our senior people to be able to do more change management in this scope and work with you guys to roll this project out. And at the moment, if they're stuck doing repetitive tasks, then they're distracted from the higher value analytical work. So we end up with the risk of errors and inconsistent documentation due to fragmented manual handling. Let's look at the next one. Inefficiency number 6. So at the moment, we're facing formidable competition from established players like Chemist Warehouse and Priceline, who dominate the ANZ pharmaceutical and healthcare retail space. We recognise that successfully entering and capturing a significant market share in this highly competitive landscape will require a comprehensive understanding of the market dynamics and a robust expansion strategy. We really need to get realistic about what we can and can't achieve and go for the stuff that we can. So the impact is, if PharmaWell fails to effectively navigate the ANZ market and compete against Chemist Warehouse and Priceline, the company may face limited market penetration, a competitive disadvantage, and potential reputation damage, ultimately impacting its overall performance. If you ever want to read a case study of a company that embarrassed themselves trying to roll out an Australian business, have a look at Masters Hardware. It's a really good case study of a brand that looked like it should have thrived and absolutely didn't, and we don't want to be another example of Masters Hardware. Inefficiency number 7, manual data entry and security protection. So the issue is PharmaWell experienced a significant data breach in 2020, which exposed sensitive customer information and raised serious concerns about data security and practices. And we've still got compliance people chasing us. So current process of data protection is very manual. And this is where, even the best intent, even when the policies are correct, it can be really challenging for people to actually implement them. So we've got to look at, are the policies correct? Are the people implementing correctly? So the impact of the 2020 data breach exposed PharmaWell's sensitive customer information, damaging the company's reputation and eroding customer trust. The highly manual data protection processes increases the risk of human error, making PharmaWell vulnerable to similar incidents. Additionally, these inefficiencies hinder timely responses to potential threats, further compromising data security. So if we've got a problem caused by manual data entry and manual data management, the follow-up to resolve the leak is a manual process. Somebody's got to forensically dig out the leak, and then the solution is manually implemented to prevent that data from being, to go and find where it's leaked to and address it. All of that's manual, then it's delays on every front with that one. Moving on, let's talk about what good looks like. Okay. Sorry, one moment. Right, here we go. Continuing. So to get this process right, here's some suggestions and some things we want to keep in mind as we go. Assessment and planning. So we'd like to conduct a thorough analysis of the current inventory management, order fulfillment, supply chain, regulatory compliance, technology systems, and customer relationship management processes. That's sort of what we've just been through. We want to identify gaps and areas for improvement and develop a detailed project plan with clear objectives, timelines, and resource requirements. In the inventory management space, we want to implement a robust inventory management system that uses real-time data analytics to optimize stock levels. We would then like to integrate predictive analytics to forecast demand accurately and reduce overstocking and stock outs. The order fulfillment improvement space, we want to deploy an automated order fulfillment system to reduce errors and improve accuracy. and implement barcode scanning, and RFID technology to enhance tracking and verification processes. And in the digital health platform manual workspace, we could invest in developing or upgrading its API capabilities, allowing smoother data exchange with third-party devices and medical systems. This would improve system functionality while updating the process to support automatic data flow, reducing manual entry, and ensuring data is timely and accurate. Furthermore, PharmaWell can provide training to healthcare staff on using the integrations efficiently, blending in system enhancements with process optimizations for a cohesive solution. Bit of a tongue twister, that little section.
Question.
Go ahead.
Inventory management. So what it looks like is you would like users to have a real-time data analytics. How are you doing at the moment? Are you doing any tools, or are you just manually pulling out data of different systems and then just do an ad hoc reporting?
Yeah, so the finance team, I think, have an asset database, but there's a lot of, when we go digging to see what people are actually using in the warehouse and in different sections of the warehouse, there's a lot of people keeping a Google sheet or something like that and then updating the finance system. So there might be a bit of clunkiness there where the data entry process isn't fluent enough, isn't as efficient enough for us to keep that data available in real time. So we really like to see real-time updates where, a barcode scanner is used, for example, it goes straight into the system.
Google Sheets, you mentioned. That's not safe.
I'm not a big fan. And, I've gone to the point where with systems change, you don't want to take tools away from people because if they're solving a problem and it's keeping the business running, sometimes those are load-bearing tools, and the fact that we shouldn't be using them, if they're load-bearing, you need to replace them before you take them away. Do you know what I mean? We found out the hard way that removing a Google Sheet from a process can sometimes result in a whole department collapsing and needing to be propped back up. So it's a very valid point. I can go on about that one for a long time. I won't, but passionately detest Google Sheets. You can run a whole database in Google Sheets, but you shouldn't. Okay.
And sorry, you go.
Oh, well, shall we move on to the next one, or did you have more questions?
Oh, I do have another question.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm just staying on this page, and I'm just looking at a lot of information, but then it's kind of I'm trying to connect all the dots together. So in terms of inventory management, when you say previously you have medical equipment and then some, let's go back to the slides. Pharmaceuticals, medical devices, healthcare supplies. What's kind of percentage? Well, what's a breakdown? Do you have a rough number?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head right now, but I know.
What do you have most?
I think
Healthcare supplies?
there's been a lot of that lately. Although after COVID, people were stocking up on healthcare supplies during COVID. After that, it's ramped down a little bit. Again, medical devices, and with the boom in things like Ozempic and some of the off-label versions of that, we've also been shipping quite a lot of pharmaceutical products, including compounded pharmaceutical products. Which is a bit of a tricky compliance landscape, but they're selling very well at the moment. So, where the money is, we chase it.
Yeah, right. Okay. So, sorry, going back to this. So RFID technology, just confirming currently you don't have this.
Correct. Yeah, RFID tags would be amazing because again, like a barcode, you have to scan it correctly, but an RFID code, if the box passes the scanner correctly, especially if you use the right technology, let's not talk about Melbourne and Mikey, but if you use the right RFID, you can pick it up at quite a distance. So you can even have your forklift set up if you're picking up pallets to pick up the RFID as it picks up the box very quickly. So that makes information capture, obviously more efficient. And that's again going to remove those issues around people having to, keep God forbid, a notes document on their phone and then put it into the spreadsheet or the database later.
Oh my God.
But this is what happens, right? We have to get this packed quickly, so we'll put it in notes on the phone and then put it in the system later. And so you discover, well, why wasn't this information that we were understocked
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
database?
So it would never be
It went,
accurate
it
because
went into
people
somebody's
forget.
phone.
Yeah.
The person went on leave for a week. They didn't enter it from their phone into the database.
Yeah. And then they're just busy and then they're rushing to something else and then they forgot it completely. That's totally possible.
Exactly. And then at a systems level, right, we have to look at it and go, well, operationally, we've got this process wrong. If it's too hard for our people to actually give us the information that we want and that our customers need,
Yeah.
then we haven't got the process right. We've got to correct
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And digital health platform, that one, how long you have been running it?
I think it's been up about
2 years?
3 years. Yeah,
3 years.
2 3 years. Yeah,
Yeah.
3 year project, probably
Yeah.
operationally too.
Yeah.
And you always get that like spectrum of people. You get the early adopters who love it and use it for everything.
Yeah.
And you get very, change resistant people. The change resistant people actually give us very good feedback.
Yeah, did they?
Because they hate everything and they tell you about it. So,
That's good.
you don't necessarily take that as the only feedback. But vocal users are always valuable for getting a process right.
Okay. How many headcounts do you have to support this platform, given there's a lot of manual work behind it? And I assume they might be the one you want to outsource as well.
It's an interesting question. Local teams obviously are, more expensive, and that can result in a low headcount. So I'm going to have a very small team of engineers. I think it fluctuates between 3 and 5, depending on when they're working on projects. They might bring in freelancers. We haven't outsourced a heap of that, and obviously the challenge of getting experienced people who will work to a standard can be challenging. So outsourcing things if the standard isn't going to be met is pointless. So getting that standard stuff right around outsourcing, how do we make sure that work is being done to a correct standard, is a really important point. And look, the ability to scale is good, but you have to be able to delegate as you scale. So if you can't take meaningful work and push it out to offshore teams and then get good results back, it's not worth doing. So systems of delegation become an important factor.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, I don't have questions under these four. Guys, just have a pause here. Does anyone have any questions in regards to these 4 points before we move on to the rest?
Hi. Sorry, just in regards to the digital health platform, I just want to know how that works because from your team's previous introduction, I think the company is very similar. We take Chemist Warehouse, Sigma as the major competitors. And how does so I think it's mainly about the a franchise retail, like wholesales. How is the digital health platform works fitting?
Yeah, so in a sense that we're competing on a product level, that's when we're upselling and selling on products. In terms of some of the more deeper integrations that we're trying to do with GP clinics and some of that sort of stuff, we've got possibly a slightly more unique offering there. So it's one of the things that we want data on, is to see whether or not we should focus on our niche opportunities. And if there are there's other digital prescription options out there, where GPs can send a customer to get a prescription. But we're trying to get that holistic integration, which makes it easier for our customers to go to different locations to find what they need, so that they're not tied to a single GP or a single pharmacy or whatever. So some of it's I think we've got enough of a unique offering if we can get that offering clear to the market, that we can differentiate ourselves. But the challenge is always, getting that that knowledge to your customer so they know what your value proposition is, what's differentiating, what's
Yeah.
the point of difference. So yeah, I think, we've probably got some work to do there in making sure that our branding and marketing material is communicating our point of difference.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Awesome.
Okay, let's move on to the next slide, the CRM. All right.
Yeah, and here is the Google Sheets spectacular scenario. Obviously, we don't have a CRM currently, and I think there are little, classically when a business doesn't have a CRM, what you discover is that the business actually has multiple CRMs because every department's created their own. So you get people getting, so they pulled it out of their own department budget, or we've got HubSpot for this bit, or we've got, something going on. Somebody might even have played around with Salesforce or whatever. Anyone who can sign up for a demo will, if they can. Tiger CRM, Odoo, you name it, it's out there. So again, I try to be calm and patient and not take tools off people until we've got something meaningful to replace it. But there's probably a bit of discovery work in the CRM space to kind of consolidate that. And again, when you've got multiple teams saying, "Oh, we want to use our thing. It's working fine for us," and you get that siloed process, and you have to sort of slowly refute that it's working fine for us thing, because a CRM's job is to integrate the customer relationship across departments. And if you've got a siloed customer relationship that just, they're kind of hoarding it in the sales team, or they're hoarding it over in the ops team. This is our relationship. We don't want those salespeople back in there, or the salespeople. This is our relationship. The ops team should always send the customer to us for everything. Then you're kind of losing the point of having a CRM, which is that it tells the same consistent story and provides the same consistent customer experience across the business. So again, the biggest challenge with that is always socialization and change management, getting the stakeholders across different departments to buy in to one cohesive plan, and getting that plan implemented and designed correctly so that it wins them over and they actually start using it and stop using their shadow IT or their bootleg system to manage things. We don't want them to be having to manage their customer relationships in notes on their phone. We would like to see them come into using a corporate system that we're using collectively. Did that sort of help answer the questions, or should we keep going?
Yeah, let's keep going.
Okay, so number 6, we don't have any notes on the dot point, but outsourcing to reduce costs or maintaining compliance. And obviously maintaining a compliance is a key point here. As soon as we start sending data offshore, we need to be knowing exactly who's got access to it. We need to know which data can actually be processed offshore. There's some data sovereignty rules that mean that giving people access to our data offshore at all is not really viable. And especially when if you're talking about PDF documents, for example, if I start sending, we could do VPN tunneling where you get offshore workers tunneling into Australia, working on the document. But if you look at the technology around character recognition and AI's ability to reconstruct from an image exactly what the text says, if you're sharing even pixel data of a screen that has the text on it, there's still a possibility for that data to essentially be leaked. So the landscape with AI now in it is changing in terms of compliance and what we can expose significantly. And it's going to be really interesting to stay across what those developments are and how to manage them. In the market expansion space, obviously, we're looking to capture a significantly bigger market share and understand the competitors and what their value proposition is. So part of obviously figuring out where do we find our market niche. So there are some things you say, okay, we're doing this, but we're doing it better. There are some things you say, okay, well, probably, Priceline is doing that better than us. So what's our point of difference? Or Can we bring our price down? Can we do it more efficiently? And sometimes, if they're well established, they've got more buying power or whatever, and we just can't compete on price. So then how do we get our customers to identify with our brand and go, okay, these, and again, this is where the CRM comes in and understanding that customer story, winning that customer trust, by treating them like a person, by giving them that consistent experience of saying, we see that you bought this last week and you've been on this journey. We think that this might help you, and empowering our teams to be able to do that, to gain insight when they're responding to our customer about who that customer is and what their needs might be. That's when we can start to step our game up a bit. And that would hopefully bring us into, so understanding the competitors is a fundamental point to that. Automated data protection solution. So again, with the security stuff, we are seeing a lot of documents going to folders every day. We've got some systems for classification. We really need more systems for classification in terms of both data retention, when are we obliged to keep a document, and data destruction, when are we obliged actually to destroy the document. Sometimes it's keep for 7 years and then destroy. Knowing what that is, and then being able to categorize those documents as they go into the folder. So instead of the user having to select a security setting for that document, and nothing happening if the user doesn't select a security setting for that document, we want some intelligent defaults, and possibly, if we may go for some AI informed intelligent defaults. Again, you don't want AI making the decision to make documents in a confidential space public. So you don't want to handball the entire keys to AI, but you might use AI to establish when a document should be more secure by detecting its content and saying, hang on a second, this contains credit card numbers, or this contains person's private medical health records, confidential information that can't be exposed. So you would never use AI to make things less secure, because we just don't have that level of confidence. But you might use or just scripting or regular intelligence to identify things that should be made more secure, or to flag, at least for human review, which documents might need a second set of eyes over them. So all of that stuff's possible in that space. Where do we get to? I haven't read the notes. I've been talking about it because I care about that one. Automated and easy to grade systems. We talked about streamlined process such as AI. Real-time monitoring. And real-time monitoring, obviously you're not going to pay someone to sit in front of a computer and watch every file that gets uploaded to Microsoft or Google Drive or whatever. So again, this is where we need the software and the systems to separate the noise from the signal from the noise. We need to know which of the things that are happening in those file stores need to be brought to someone's attention for further investigation. And the real-time monitoring means we can detect and mitigate risks, especially after the breach. There's a lot of concern around getting that right, which means when there's concern around it, then there's obviously budget to fix it as well, which is a nice place to be. So what do we need you to help us with? So over the next 6 weeks.
Exciting. Having heard of this, so yeah, team, we're here. So that's what I initially think over the next 6 weeks, or well, actually including this week. So what we're gonna do is first step, we'll get the baseline right. And then we will validate our findings, our assets with you, and then we'll present some initial recommendations. So what does it look like? Breaking it down. So each of you, I know I think I got everyone here. So there are 7 or 8 areas of inefficiencies. Each of you, please pick up an issue. So I think Iris has sent out an email and tagging everyone's name. That's a table, and feel free to put your name next to the pain point. And if that takes a little bit time, that's okay. Take some time to think about it. But if you have a strong preference, for example, somebody prefers a digital health platform, And then just put your name there because it's first come, first serve. And then if you do think you have strong interest and strong capability in that, please do so. And then over the next couple of weeks, we will also start building up a PowerPoint deck on project one, which the project lead will help with. So getting the templates, and then I know we don't need it for our interim presentation, but we will definitely need it for our final presentation. So it's always good to start building the deck earlier. And also, Tim, I think next week what we will have is a deep dive session with you. So over the 7 or 8 different areas, I know it's very high level today, and we really want to understand what does each process work, what's a touch point, what's what's the bottlenecks. So it will be really good to have a breakdown of the people, process, and our system, all these things. So we're gonna have it early next week. And also everyone, so after next week, what we're gonna do is let's create some detailed process maps. And on these process maps, on the specific area that you selected, identify or circle out the inefficiencies, and then have some initial thoughts of what does good looks like. But then don't jump into solution too fast because really we need to get the baseline right. And then the week after, we're going to have a interim presentation back to you on our initial findings, and we see how we go, and then we work on the recommendations. We probably do some vendor evaluations, etc., etc. So yeah, sounds fair.
Brilliant. And you
Yeah.
know me, it's hard to stop me from getting into the detail, but I'll restrain myself today. So, do you guys feel like you got enough of a broad overview to start on that?
To start to make a call to pick each areas before diving into more details. Right, let me see what's the rest. Okay, so that one, we've done that. Okay, cool. Any other questions from the ground? I've done my questions and I have some clarity on where it moves forward. So does anyone else have any questions?
Yeah, just trying to understand what is the current market share for PharmaWell? Like,
We reckon obviously so in the UK we have a significant market share. We're sitting around 25%, I think, which is pretty high.
yeah, that's pretty
given the players. In Australia, I think we're probably sitting between 2 and 5 at last check.
yeah. Because you
But
said
we're
only
very
come
new to the
in,
market. So
yeah,
and I
very
think that
new recently.
yeah. And so that's that's a pretty good that's a good beginning. Whether it's a sustainable beginning, and obviously we're not necessarily making back all of our return on investment at this stage. So it's we've funded the project to be here, but it does have to start paying for itself. So I think we set a target of around 12% market share to start to be a worthwhile long-term venture.
Okay, yeah. And there's a time frame to achieve that?
Yes, there is.
Okay, cool.
It depends on which of the board members you ask, as you can understand with these things. There was a time where we wrote down, which is 2 years, but there's a few who will be keen to pull the pin earlier if it doesn't look good, and there's be a few who'll be keen to run it a bit longer.
Yeah, of course.
But they're all pretty sensible people. So if it looks like it's got legs, they'll keep it running, and if it looks like it's going to fall over, they'll probably knock it on the head.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So
Any other questions?
since you have a large, sorry, here, it's Chris here. Since you have a large marketing share in UK, in terms of the inventory management or the process, is also the manual or they have a better system running at the moment?
I know you'd think, right? You would think, but it's amazing how many businesses get big and they've got spreadsheets all the way down. So I've come onto this project with this you know, as the Australian branch, and it's embarrassing. Look, you know, there's no way of describing it differently. So it turns into an opportunity for Australia to lead the UK on getting some of this stuff right. And there's projects going on in the UK as well. So we may inherit some improvements from them, but there's no, you know, they've been doing it wrong for a while. So I'm not counting my chickens. So we've got the opportunity in a new scope to have a bit of blue sky thinking, and maybe show them what things look like. It's what does good look like, right? We can actually show the global company what better would be.
Fair enough. Yeah, because AI might change. We probably can go to the leading position, influence the UK rather than they lead us.
Yeah, and you know, obviously, when there's an initiative and there's lots of capital being invested in a new project, then with that comes a bit of levity and a bit of scope to do things differently. And so we've got an opportunity now to prove some points, and I think that again, our directors are invested in proving the point that some things can change that some people are saying can't change, which is nice. It's nice to have that executive sponsorship. And you know, like any of you who've done any change management, you'll know that change management projects almost always fail without adequate executive sponsorship. So
Yeah, I know. So we try to implement the ERP systems, and even recruit a new team, brand new team. But suddenly, I don't know what's wrong. Not just the funding, because I'm pretty sure the company have enough. They just change their mind to change it, move on to the new system. And so whoever just hired for 1 month being made redundant.
I think it happens a lot more than we see. Yeah, I know of a number of businesses that I work with directly and indirectly, who have rolled out. One of them's rolled out multiple different ERP systems. So they've got Business Central from Microsoft running in one area. They had Tipalti running. They've got SAP running. And they're taking
Yeah.
it's a bit of a shotgun blast approach, but they are trying. They've got multiple regions, so they can try in different regions to see which platform actually works for them. It's possibly more informed chaos than some, but the number of organizations that start down the route of rolling out ERP and then discover that it wasn't what they thought they were getting, I think it would be, you know, way more than people see on the surface. And again, you get all of those change management things happen, right? So I've seen one where, and it's a classic thing that an individual team will try and capture, and finance teams are well placed to do this, right? Because when you're talking about ERP, a lot of it's accounting software based. And the challenge for, you know, an accounting finance controls the word control and the word finance, and you have the position of a financial controller, right? What it's very hard for the finance teams to do, for example, then is to relinquish control and to delegate to individual teams to empower them to actually do their tasks. So getting finance teams to name thresholds of approval, you can activate a quote without having to get, you know, a director to sign off on it if it's under $10,000 or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like some of those decision points are really hard to draw because when you've got people who are risk averse and their job requires them to be risk averse, and on the other hand, if you have a sales team that have pushed for an ERP because they've got a then they're going to push in the other direction, right? So you can end up with the agenda being captured by an individual team to their goals, and you won't necessarily know either. So in the early stages, if the requirements, because we've got consultants doing it, and the requirements gathering goes down the path of one team shows up to all the stakeholder meetings, and the rest of the teams in the business, maybe they're too busy, maybe they don't care, maybe they weren't engaged. They don't show up to the stakeholder meetings suddenly, even accidentally. You know, sometimes it's with intent, sometimes accidentally. One department or one silo will capture the ERP planning process, and then you'll end up with an ERP system that was built to one department's requirements, and they've managed to gatekeep all of the other departments from having what they need. If you don't have leadership that's saying this tool actually manages the interface between all of our departments, and I like to say everybody has to be equally disappointed. nobody's going to get all of what they want, right? And if you actually get that interface right, you have to learn with the discomfort, to live with the discomfort of your teams telling you in the early stages of your new tool, no, I hate this. And that's, you have to learn in change management. Obviously, it's tricky. The difference between the I hate this because it's wrong and the I hate this because it's forcing me to change, or it's scary because I'm having to relinquish control of something. And anybody who's worked with AP, it's really bad in Australia right now. Apparently, we have, I think, the worst rate of late payment on accounts payable in the world, or up in the top, top 10 worst in the world. And there's pressure, when you're inside the AP department, your KPIs are around managing cash flow, not around making sure that contractors get paid. But if the contractors don't get paid, that has a massive impact on business relationships. So the silo values and the holistic values aren't necessarily the same values. And when we get the systems right, they support the processes. When we're trying to get the business to grow, when we're trying to actually get into team empathy built into the culture of the business, then breaking down those silo walls and saying, hey, okay, we need to make sure that there's it's not that you don't want your accounts payable people to be gatekeepers, because that's absolutely their job. But it has to be a gate, not a wall. You know what I mean? Like a gate opens, a wall doesn't.
That's true.
Right.
Sorry,
Any
Big.
more?
I got excited. I told you I get excited about these things. Sorry about that. Any
Yeah,
more
that's all right.
questions?
That's all right. Because we all have this kind of issues. Yeah, it doesn't matter the size of the company, and there's all these kind of issues everywhere. And then surprisingly, and then in regards to this kind of relationships, or even some manual work, surprisingly, big companies, small companies, they all have different level of manual work. Sometimes it's just like, oh wow, that size of company, and you still use spreadsheets, like wow, or you still use Google Sheets. As I was so surprised, like, oh, what's Google Sheets?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, more questions, guys. Sounds like everyone's crystal clear, or they might be clear as mud. So they will think about it later and come back with questions. So yeah, all right. We'll wrap up here. And thanks, Ting, for your time. So what will happen is, Ting will book in another time next week to cover the deep dives and all the details. And then the guys here pick up an area of which you think would be most interesting to you, and I will be sharing this PDF, this slide, and then sharing this recording. So in case anyone else have any other questions, feel free to raise it up, and I will pass it on to you, team. All right.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Have a good one, and I will talk to you over the week. Bye.
All right, thank you. Thanks,
Bye.
Steve.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.